Right. Good afternoon to you guys. As Christmas creeps even closer, I'm trying to make a decision this year on whether to go to the in-laws or carry on going to my parents as I've done every year. Me and my partner have been together for around 10 years, but always spent Christmas apart, mostly due to the time she spends in the ambulance service. This year she is off from work and looking forward to spending time with her family and me at Christmas, almost assuming that's what I want to do. I'm not sure how to delve into the conversation that I'm just feeling strange about leaving my parents alone at Christmas. Any suggestions on how to handle a slightly awkward situation from a slightly awkward human being? P.S. Both parents live 9 hours away from each other, so it won't be able to spend time with both. Thanks.
I think with this one, it's there's a few options you could have. You could, first of all, 10 years being with someone and not having to share a Christmas with them.
Lucky you.
Yeah, exactly. You've got away with a lot. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of privilege that's been happening there. So, obviously her job's an important job, and she's been doing that the whole time. So yeah, I think what you need to do. I said this to Dan when we received the email.
I think it was a fucking. I didn't even think of it either, so it was a fucking belter.
Yeah, I think you need to invite all your parents to you because it's going to be. Say this is the only year in a few years that your partner is going to be able to fucking celebrate Christmas with the family. I would say do it. Have everyone to your house. Host. It might be slightly stressful for you, but you're still seeing your parents. You're seeing her parents. Everyone's happy, I feel.
Yeah, and like your partner, if it's the first Christmas in a long time, isn't going to travel 9 hours.
No, either way, yeah.
No, 9 hours there, 9 hours back to then go back to work the next day. So, I mean, obviously this depends on your living situation and stuff like that, but I think there's no downside to this apart from like the stressful of making dinner and that, but it's the best of both worlds.
I think you're pleasing both parents if they're willing to do it. Obviously, you're pleasing both parents and you're pleasing your partner who hasn't had a real Christmas in 10 years. I know this is going to sound bad from me to the listener, but I think your partner's more important in this situation than you are at this point because they haven't had the Christmases. They've been working. First responders and that, you don't really think of at Christmas unless it's actually forced upon you. So for her not to have the last 10 years with you, I think sacrifices need to be made. If parents aren't willing, if one of the parents aren't willing to come down or something, then that's the decision you're going to have to make. But I think try to get everyone together.
Solves it itself, doesn't it? If one family is like, either way, if one of them comes to you, that's still better than you traveling to them. So that's still a win. But yeah, no, Jamie's right, and I think as well because you said, "Oh, you're an awkward human being," which made me laugh. I think that's why it feels so
big.
Yeah, so strange because you're used to her working, and then you go into your parents where it's like, oh, this year it's going to be different, and change is strange.
Even people get into routines. When me and Charlotte first were doing Christmases, we were living in the flat like 3-4 years before we actually started doing Christmases together.
Yeah,
because neither of us wanted to give up our Christmas day with our parents. So I think we interchange every year now, but obviously this couple doesn't have that option because of her being a first responder. So I think make the most of it. I think it's a good time to spend with family. I know a lot of people say they argue and stuff and all this stuff, but I think Christmas every year has been good for me, and whether I've been lucky that way or not.
Yeah, see, when
make the most of it.
I was saying to Sabina, because I was like, when we were over there, and obviously I'm quite impulsive in general, and we were over seeing her family, and I was like, oh, maybe we can alternate between being in Prague and being at home in mine. Okay. And Spina's like, oh, are you okay with leaving your mum at Christmas? And then obviously the impulsive part of me took over, and she could see it in my face, and I was like, "Oh yeah, no, not really." But luckily for me, me and Sabina are quite what's the word? Like compromise with each other.
Mm.
So she was like, because obviously my mum's invited her this year over to ours for Christmas.
Mm.
So I was like, I'm quite happy to do like if I can get the time off to do like the week before Christmas to come over to see your family, and then still have Christmas Day with my family, with her obviously there as well. So we're still basically spending time with both. It's just a bit more traveling. But
Is because I know the Polish Christmas Day is 24th.
yeah, it's the
Is the
day
Czech,
before Christmas. Yeah.
so you could that could possibly help you out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but yeah, I understand completely because honestly the thought of not spending time with I don't care about everyone else, but my mum. Like, I'm sorry to my brothers and my stepdad, but yeah, it was my mum that was sort of like, no,
Yeah, I think once you've done it the first year, because I was very much the same. Once you've done it the first year, and you kind of figure out like a rhythm,
mm,
like it now, if anything impedes that rhythm, I get a little bit fucking weird about it. Like one year, Charlotte's parents went to Australia. The year we were supposed to go to them,
yeah,
and we ended up going to Miller and Carter with Charlotte's brother instead. But it just didn't feel the same because
yeah,
obviously it was like just the kids have gone rogue. Basically, that's what it
yeah.
felt like.
Oh yeah, yeah, I absolutely understand. Yeah, that's that one thing, right? Like when you're growing up, Christmas is that one thing that every year is exactly the same.
Yeah, and people get very much into routines around it.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm the same. Like especially during COVID, because at first they were like, "Oh, you could go home for Christmas," and then they were like, "No, you have to stay home." And I was like, "You can fuck off. You can barricade my journey to my fucking mum's, but I'm going to my fucking mum's. I don't give a fuck."
See, I was always always a bugbear with me because my it wasn't me and Charlotte, it was my mum. My mum got scaremongered by the fucking news and was like, she doesn't want us driving over there just in case we get stopped.
No.
And it was like we listened to my mum, and we had a brilliant day. Don't get me wrong, but still, to this day, I hate the British government because of it.
Yeah. So yeah, no, James, I haven't. This was a tough one for me because I was like, oh, how would you solve that? And Jamie's, I think, is the middle ground. You know what I mean? And like I said, if one family can't make it, then you know where you're going. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If one,
I think
oh
that
no, I
solves
can't
it.
do that. Yeah. So but have that conversation. And Jamie's right. Like, if it's been 10 years and this is the first chance that she's had at Christmas, then you've got to sort of suck it up and take the hit and just be like, because what's one Christmas? They're not gonna. Next year you can go back to your normal routine, but you want to make it good for her.
Yeah, and I think like this is going to sound pretty petty, but all them years in retail, I feel a lot more towards Christmas now because we had to work the entire fucking Christmas
Mm.
in retail. Like I was going in and doing fucking accepting deliveries on Christmas Day before,
Yeah,
and um, now I just think more of it. Where I think a lot of people don't when they've always just had the whole Christmas period off.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. You learn to appreciate that one day a bit more.
Yeah,
Yeah. But let us know how it goes. Hopefully, you'll still listen over Christmas, although I know our numbers drop a little bit over Christmas because no one's listening. But I hope you have
yeah,
a good time and say thank you for your missus for all those years of working at Christmas. And we hope she enjoys it.